Love you, Dad.
You had to take this exam yet?
Yes, I did. That was a long time ago. I took it in the fall of 2017.
Wow, you've been doing this for a while now, then.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel that long because I only do it once a week, and then there's been a couple of times I just didn't feel up to coming in. And then it turns into like, this is the first time I've done it in 2 weeks, but I should be getting more artists coming in here, and I'm gonna get a petition going, see if I can get the station to bring the college to bring the station back to the FM.
What was that on actual radio?
Unfortunately, not.
Oh.
The ex-president sold the frequency, and after that, the college didn't really put very much effort into letting people know that the station still exists exactly as it did, but people would just have to look for it online. But the station used to have tens of thousands of listeners. Like, it would compete with Power 94 and 96.5, like the two other big.
Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, it was.
So I'll turn you guys' mics on just like a couple of seconds after I start talking, and
Yeah,
do
sure.
as you please. That's U2 with Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Caleb, your humble host. Tonight I am really excited because I have a musical guest for the first time in a little while. I have Jason von Stein with me, and I have my guest host, Jamie Davis, to my right. You guys want to just go ahead and say hello, and I'll
Yeah.
So Jason, go ahead.
Thank you both for having me. Thank you for pronouncing Von Stein correctly. That's...
All right. Let's see. Do you want to, Jason? Would you like to? What's it called when you before you actually play a real song and you just?
I guess do like a warm up if you're talking,
Yeah,
or we could just chat, whatever you feel like. You may explain what I'm doing.
I think right now I'm setting the world's record for the most awkward interview. We're gonna fix that up.
I'm half of that, so don't feel like you're alone on that. So my story is my father's a songwriter, and his name is Jim Von Stein, and he's written over 5,000 songs in his lifetime. He's been writing his whole life. He's been writing. He was very influenced by the Beatles, and a song called "Old Shep," which is a song probably from the 50s, I would say. He grew up listening to that. It's about a dog that passes away, unfortunately, but the story of it really got to him, as a kid when he was real young, and he used to cry to that, and I think that led to him writing poetry.
I'm sorry about that. Would you be able to start that the introduction of your dad over?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'm guffing things up.
No worries.
I have Jason Von Stein with me, and he's giving me a little background on where some of his songs come from. And we'll just take it from the top. Sorry about that.
No problems at all. Yeah, my name is Jason Von Stein, and I'm here because my father's name is Jim Von Stein, and he's a songwriter, and he's written over 5,000 songs in his lifetime. He's been writing his whole life, and I'm sharing his music out now. I'm actually playing his music out. He's been writing since he was a kid. Unfortunately, he has emphysema now. So because of that, he can't really play his music. He still writes songs. He actually has written 28 songs for the month of February.
Nice.
It's amazing. He can. It's crazy. He has emphysema, which is a disease that affects your breathing, and it makes it hard to do anything. You can't. Opening a fridge to get a drink is a long process. It takes a long time to get your air, and every time an air change happens, it's an adjustment. It takes a long time to get used to that. But despite the fact of that, he's trained himself to write a song in 20 minutes because he's written songs all of his life. He's been writing, he's written over 5,000. So it's just enough air for him to be able to get the song down, and he can still, pump them out, so to speak, which is great. That's cool that he, I mean, it's the ultimate making lemonade. I see what emphysema does to you, and I'd like to do something to help people out. I think, generations of people. I started off as an actor. I was very influenced by older films, and then one thing you notice about older films, black and white films, everybody's smoking cigarettes because they were just, monopoly. Yeah, everybody's trying to be cool, and they're trying to sell it, and the Marlboro brand, and all these different things. And of course that affected my father and his brother. They smoked cigarettes when they were younger and smoked cigarettes for a long time. And we also did heating and air for years here in Chattanooga. Actually, I did a couple years with them myself. And the places we were doing were like very, like a lot of residential, a lot of like older houses, places that are like 100 years old. So you're dealing with like asbestos and lead paint and like all sorts of stuff like that. So he was breathing in a lot of toxins. I remember there was we'd work and we'd go to places that are older, and you'd have like mildew and stuff and smells like that. And like you go home on Friday and all weekend you're tasting that in your mouth, And then so all that stuff, it all adds up. And unfortunately, he has emphysema. My grandfather had emphysema too, so it's just something that is also a hereditary deal. So what I've been trying to do is get his music out there, raise emphysema awareness. I started a Kickstarter for him a couple years ago. He's written all these songs, but he's never had a proper music video. He's made a lot of music videos. We got him a computer, and he would take like screenshots of images, and he would make music videos. And he's made like 400 videos. If you get on YouTube and look for Jim Von Stein, he's made music videos, but it's just images. I thought he deserved to have a real live action music video. I grew up watching MTV. I always loved music videos. So I started a Kickstarter for him, and what I did is for 30 days I uploaded a song each day. And what I wanted to do is I wanted the audience to pick the song that they wanted. I had an idea for each video, and the video that got the most likes would get a music video created. And I was happy to say I pulled it off. And last year, 2017, at Christmas, I was able to release Streets of Chicago, which is a cool video. If you go to Jason Von Stein on YouTube, you can find it there. And it's only 4 minutes, but I think it's pretty, I'm biased, but I think it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of references like Terminator and stuff like that in there.
So it's not a Christmas song.
No, not really. No, it's on Christmas Day. It's a Christmas gift, is what
That's
it is.
nice.
So yeah, but it turned out to be a fun project. I've got a couple other ideas I want to do for music videos for him. I've been sharing them with. There's a company called the COPD Foundation. COPD and emphysema are both diseases that affect your breathing, and my father has both of them, unfortunately. So I've been trying to share his music, and the COPD Foundation has been gracious enough to start sharing it on their website. So I've started a Patreon for my father, and what I'm going to do is I'm hoping that I can get funding to create more music videos, which I can in turn give to the COPD Foundation and emphysema organizations, and maybe they can use them as a way to, at the very least, create awareness.
Are you on Instagram or Facebook?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Everything is Jason Von Stein.
Okay,
Luckily, there's only one of them so far, I guess. So I was able to get all of those, But yeah, I got a website, jasonvonstein.com.
Really quick, Von Stein, how do you spell it?
It's VON space STEIN.
Okay.
So with a space.
Is that German?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so
And it's
choose
I
the
before
German
E,
spelling.
except for my last name, which
Ah.
got me in trouble all the time at school. So yeah, it's German. I'm Portuguese and German. I'm a
Nice.
Porta-Germ.
I like
So
that.
that's what I've always kind of called myself. But
Porta
my dad's he kind of created that one. But yeah.
All right, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm with Jason Von Stein and guest host Jamie Davis.
Hey.
Jason, I met you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I think this time your set's going to be better.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
your set was great, but there were some circumstances
That could have been my fault too. I kind
that were
of
out of our control.
Yeah, there was a drunk guy, and then I kind of I don't know. I kind of wanted to be a rock star, so I played the guitar kind of in his face a little bit. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I apologize. But thank you for being gracious enough for having me, come in and jam. So
I think yeah, you won't be interrupted this time. That's what I guess that's what I was trying to get at. If you're ready to go, you can go ahead and announce whichever song you want to play
sure.
first.
I'll start playing through them. This first one I'll play is called Like It Like It. My father wrote this. Wrote this one in 1989. He wrote this song because you can't hate a song called Like It Like It. That's the whole point of it. So yeah.
All right. This
So
is Jason.
hopefully you
Von
like it. Yeah. Some women got a wicked walk, some women got a wicked talk. You got a little of both and I like it. Fell in love it all in line and I like it. Like it, oh, it feels so right. Like it, gonna stay all night. Like it or not, I like it. I like the way that you hold me tight. Like the way that we kiss goodnight. Like the magic of the morning light that you brighten. Like it, it feels so right. Like it, gonna stay all night. Like it or not, I like it. I like the way that you hold me tight. Like the way that we kiss goodnight. Like the magic of the morning light that you brighten. Some women got a wicked ball. Some women got a wicked doll. You got a little of both and I like it.
That's Jason Von Stein singing a song by Jim Von Stein.
Jim Von Stein.
And that's Like It, Like It?
Like it, yeah.
All right.
So nice you had to say it twice. Right?
Yeah. Would it be too on the nose to say that I liked it?
There you go. That's the point. Yeah. Join the
I
team.
really
All
did.
right.
It made me feel good.
Team like it. Good. Well,
Even
that's
if it
cool.
wasn't like a relationship thing, you can like everything. There's
Yeah.
so much that you can like about life.
That's what he was thinking when he just wanted something kind of fun. You know?
Yeah.
So he writes he writes from a lot of different perspectives. He usually doesn't write about his own life. He's written songs about me. I'll play one of them for you later on. But he usually just comes up with an idea and kind of goes with it. That didn't have any meaning or anything. It's not about a particular person. It's just a fun song. So.
All right. If you're just joining us, I'm with Jason Von Stein and Jamie Davis. I'm Caleb Lee. And if you started out listening on WAWL and you're having any problems with that at all, I just want to remind you that you can also listen to us on the TuneIn app or the TuneIn website. All you'd have to do is search for WAWL. It'd be the first little result that comes up. But hopefully the .org stream is working out great. My faithful followers, just let me know if you're having any problems. I'm gonna go ahead and let Jason get back to his playing. You just want to introduce this next song? And
Yeah, sure. My father wrote this one. It's called "Hard Luck People." He wrote it in the '80s as well. It's just a song about having a tough time with things. We've all gone through it. So, but it's catchy as well. Hopefully you dig it. Hard Luck People. Got tired of pickup life and the way I'm spinning around. Thought traded all in for the big city lights of town. Better guard your different roads, but you're blooming parts and soon. Wanna taste the better things, but you're reaching for the moon. Sometimes preaching only burns the hand that's there. But you don't know what's going on out there. Let me tell you about hard luck people. Hard luck times. Cold gray stairs across the corners of this town. Let me tell you about no kid coming. Your easy break. You traded simple life for hard times every day. Making ends holding down two jobs and it's driving you insane. Got a few things you never had, but nothing's worth a pain. Late at night there's never time for you to find yourself. Seems every dream has been placed upon some shelf. Sometimes picture only burns the hand that's there. But you don't know what's going on out there. Let me tell you about hard luck people. Hard luck times. Cold gray stairs across the corners of this town. Let me tell you about no kid coming. Your easy break. You traded simple life for hard times every day. Hard luck people. Hard luck
thanks for listening. That was Jason Von Stein. He's live with us tonight on Chattanooga's very own The Wall. I feel like I should have a better knowledge of classic rock, because that song, I mean, you say it was written in the 80s, but
Yeah.
if you had told me it was written in the 60s or 70s, I would have believed you. Or like, if I had a better knowledge of classic rock,
Yeah.
I'd probably be like, oh, it reminds me of this band or that band, but
Oh yeah.
I don't want to sound like cheesy or whatnot, but it has kind of like a timeless feel. Like it sounds like it could be from the 60s or 70s, not.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way with a lot of Dad's music. I think that, it's he never wrote songs to be difficult. He kind of like looks at it kind of like, CCR. You've heard of Creedence Clearwater?
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
Like they're like, a lot of their stuff is like 3 or 4 chords, and if you overcomplicate things, then I think as a listener it makes it a little more harder to understand everything. If you like Pearl Jam, for instance. I love Pearl Jam, but I can't understand anything that Eddie Vedder is saying, right? So like I can't really like sing with but if you listen to like Elton John, like that, the words to that because you can understand, So I kind of, I think the biggest thing with his songs is it's simple, and also there's stories to them. So it's good to try to, to do that,
It's relatable too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, everybody's had, times where they've had hard luck, so that's the way it goes, He, when he gets a song given to him, he just kind of goes with the ride. So he doesn't really, he doesn't really think that he's that great of a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He's always like is driven to write another one and write another one and write another one. But he says it's a gift, and if you go with it, then you'll be able to figure it out. So this next one I'll play for you. My father, it's also from the 80s, but he wanted to challenge himself. So we had a globe in the house, like a planet, Earth, and he decided what he was going to do is he was going to spin the globe, and he was going to stop it with his finger, and wherever it landed, he was going to write a song about that. And it landed on Mississippi, of all things. So of all the places in the world. But he wrote the song. It's called "Woman Queen Run." Hopefully you'll like it. That woman green run, and I'll always think about you. Stars shining above, but they'll never shine on you. Once tasted your love, now I only think about it. I poured for your love, and I harbor like you. The seas, but the damage can be harder. Brought to my knees by a woman who was older. She walked a vision, a lady as indeed. She stole my boy heart and left me here to pay. Ride that woman green run, and I'll always think about you. Stars shining above, but they'll never shine on you. Once tasted your love, now I only think Queen
Jason Von Stein with
Woman, Queen, Run.
If you don't mind, we're going to take about a 10-minute break.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We'll come back and you can do as many more songs as you want.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for listening. I'm Caleb with Jason Von Stein and Jamie Davis. Thank you both for being here. We're going to take a little time out and we'll be back live in about 7 or 8 minutes. Once again, thanks for listening. Let's take a little listen to the Dandy Warhols' Motor City Steel on Chattanooga's very own The Wall.
Graduate of the Professional Actor Training Program
I like
here
that
at
one a
Chattanooga
lot.
State.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
cool. Thanks. Yeah, I like that one a lot too. It's just I don't know.
Heck
It's
yeah.
tough. I'm dyslexic, so it messed me up for a long time. The chorus on that,
Uh-huh.
because it's like the same chords, but it just does one little variation. But man, it's throwing me off for a long, long time. I was actually really nervous to play that for a long time because of that. But
It's like you captured
whatever.
that Americana Delta feel, that Mississippi feel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'd like to do a music video with that where you have a boat, and the boat's name is Woman, Queen, Run. And then, just maybe like a perspective of that kind of thing. That's what I was thinking for when I did that the Kickstarter for Dad. That was the idea I had for Woman, Queen, Run for that music video.
That's what I was seeing in my head, a boat going.
Yeah, I can see that, something like that.
Yeah.
Just I like the idea of filming like. I mean, Streets of Chicago was like crazy and zany and everything, but the budget for that was only $1,000. I as an actor, I've been able to I've been in a lot of like independent films and things like that in my career, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's nice to be able to. If you don't need huge budgets, you
You
just
haven't
need
played
creativity.
Streets of Chicago yet, have you?
No, it's
Okay.
later in the book, but I'll make sure I get to that one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the progression of it. It sounds like everything you've played so far has been like different genres.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that his music. I think 'cause he's written so many different songs, they all have different sounds, I guess. But he's willing to try everything. He's actually he's known musicians growing up, and he's got a good friend of his, Tommy, that is like a trained musician. Like this is the kind of guy that could. My dad. There's a band called the Little River Band. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're pretty good. They're from the '70s.
Yeah, I actually have heard of them.
Yeah, they got a song called "The Long Way There," "A Long Way There," and it's a great song. And Tommy had never heard that before, and Dad played that for him, and he could write down like all the different chords. He knew exactly what everything. It was just like mind-boggling. But even still, Tommy, there's a song that my dad has called "Chicken Walkin'." It didn't make any sense. It's just called you want to do a love story, but it's weird. But the chords like shouldn't really go together. But because my dad doesn't, he's never trained himself a particular way, he can just, he made it work, which is pretty, it's
cares
cool.
about
He
the
just tries
rules?
it, he tries a little bit of everything. It's cool to see him, tinker around and do what he does,
That's a real genius of what it sounds
I
like.
think so, yeah. I mean, I'm biased. I think he might potentially be the greatest American songwriter. I mean, at
Definitely
least the most
something
prolific.
coming
I mean,
through. Yeah.
Prince is up there with him, but I mean, Prince hasn't written as many songs as him. I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about, but that's
You said you did 20 this last month?
28. Yeah, he wanted to do one every day, and then he did 19 on January, so he's already up to, I mean, I think he wrote one earlier today. He tries to write one
That's
every
amazing.
single day, and it's crazy. He can. It's unbelievable to see what
That's,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. She was showing me one earlier today called "She Cried Douglas" that I haven't played yet. I need to learn it, but it was interesting. He did heating and air. So what it was is he was doing the heating and air, and in doing heating and air, you got to crawl underneath the houses, to get an idea of what you're working with. And he crawled underneath this house, and he found a picture of from the 40s. I think it was 1942 or something. It said on the back of it, right? And he brought it up, and he brought it to the people that lived in the house, and he was like, "Hey, look, there was like a family photo underneath the house," and they didn't know, they'd never seen it before. And he flipped it over, and it said 1942, and it said Douglas on it. And he wrote a song about it, about like a woman that's she's receiving a letter about her soldier dying, and how the drama and everything. But it's a real beautiful song. It's one I definitely want to start playing out. But he said he was under the house, and the vents, the sunlight was coming through the vents, and that was what made him see the picture laying in the dirt, was the sunlight coming down on it. So it's like crazy how, and then he wrote a song about it, and it's a really beautiful song. It really, it's cool, yeah.
From the way that you speak and hearing his lyrics, I can tell that he's a storyteller.
Oh, he's always been a storyteller. We used to stay up when I was a kid, and we'd hide behind the couch just to hear him tell stories to the friends and family that would come over, because he just doesn't stop yapping. It's crazy. When we were in the hospital election day, the last presidential election. We were in the hospital, Chattanooga, Erlanger, because he had gotten pneumonia on top of emphysema and COPD and everything else, and it was looking pretty bad. But even at its worst, he was still making jokes, and he couldn't. He didn't have the oxygen to breathe, but he was still figuring out a way to make all the nurses laugh, and that's just who he is. He's just he's always. He's always going to look at the bright side of things. He always looks at the cup being half full. He's a wonderful man. I'm very lucky to be able to play his music. I think his music, he tried to play it. He only played 3 shows, but he did have some friends that played music well. He made a couple CDs, but things didn't really, pan out like, we'd hoped. But, it's an honor to go out there and play his music now and be the vessel to do it. It's really cool. It's given me a gift.
Definitely.
I didn't know I could play music until I started playing his music, and now.
How long have you been playing?
Well, really, I started singing when he really got diagnosed with emphysema bad. But 2 years ago, I've been playing out at open mics and stuff like that, just trying to get the music out. So
this is awesome.
And luckily I've had time to keep working on it. I hope I keep getting better, and I feel like with music you can if you just keep practicing it, and, over and over. And the nice thing is even when I don't feel so confident. Nobody's playing his music out. So me screwing up some chords and screwing up some notes isn't that big of a deal. It's better to play the music out. Yeah. So it's as long as it's getting out there, then, that's what I want to do. I really enjoy playing it. I'd like to, ideally get maybe other artists to play it too, like people that are, like Brad Paisley, and if you can get that would be great.
He's got a full collection too. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's written so many. I went through him for that Kickstarter. I was trying to figure out 30 songs that I could come up with an idea. I wanted the budget to be $1,000, so I wanted to make sure that each music video idea wouldn't exceed that. I've been on some movies where people put helicopters and stuff in it, and it's like, if you don't have a big budget, don't do that. That's not it. Don't do those things, But I pieced it together to where it would be small budgets, and I went through his collection of songs, and I was able to find a lot of poetry. He wrote a lot of poetry before he started playing music. My mother bought him a guitar when he was 30 years old. And it wasn't until he was 30 that he actually started playing guitar. So he didn't start writing songs until then. He's 66 now.
So he's done poetry before.
Yeah, he's doing poetry since he was a kid.
Are you guys okay with going back on in about 1 minute?
Sure, anytime. Yeah.
Sorry, I have to mention this, but they have a strict rule about not having any drinks in the room.
Should I not? What should I do with it?
You can put it over what the clipboard is. Okay. And I don't think that they would know because they're.
Okay. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Video. I don't want to be a troublemaker.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because it's usually just me in here, and I remember.
I need to get a swig of water.
Yeah, you can get up and move around. They're gonna do a little weather forecast. Patrick Ford actually does a little weather segment for the station every day.
Oh yeah?
So it gives them.
There's a weather segment coming up?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Cool. Never been part of a weather segment. I hope it's good weather.
Chattanooga. For Chattanooga State's The Wall, I'm Sport Equality Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
Thank you very much, Patrick. In Chattanooga, it is 49 degrees, and for what seems like once in a million years, it's not actually raining anymore, so it's fabulous. Thanks for listening, everyone. I'm here live with Jason Von Stein, the son of the prolific songwriter Jim Von Stein, and I'm also here with my first time ever co-host Jamie Davis. I'm gonna say it a million times. Thanks to both of you for being here. I think Jason is ready to play a few more songs, and I'll let him go ahead and take it from here.
All right, cool. This next one I'm gonna play for you is called "Hard Life."
Stein, do you mind repeating that song title for me?
Yeah, "Hard Life" is the name of that one. So,
written by Jim Von Stein, played by Jason Von Stein. I'm mesmerized and I'm speechless. So.
oh, all right. Well, yeah, he's my father Jim Von Stein's written all these songs, and I'll just jump into the next one if that's cool. Yeah, the next one's a little slower. It's called "But I Love You." I know I'll never be the guy to touch your fancy world. The things I try to do right somehow turn out wrong. But I love you, and no one's going to love you quite the same. Take the love I've given you and love me back the same. I've watched you in the morning and I've watched you late at night. You seem so far away from me, we're like day and night. And
Jason Von Stein. Sorry, my mic was off.
But I Love You is the name of that song. I learned a lot about duets. I've been playing music with a woman named Paula Sue in Atlanta, and she's really good vocal singer, and it's really opened my eyes. It's another thing my dad keeps opening my eyes to in this music. I always looked at that as a solo act song, but if you do that as a duet, that song is even more powerful, you know, because and also the lyrical content and everything.
Wow.
So yeah, it's cool. He keeps, I don't know.
Do you have any of your music online or anywhere that people can look it up?
If you go to jasonvonstein.com, I've got a series of tabs for all the different things I've done. And one of them is live shows, live music performances. And if you go there, I record all these shows. What I do is, my dad lives in Tennessee and I live in Atlanta. And what I do is, in order to see, my dad can watch the shows if I live stream on Facebook. So I do that. I record all the shows on Facebook, and then I send it out to him so he can watch from home. And then what I've been doing is I've been taking a GoPro and I've been adding additional videos on my Patreon page that I started for my dad as a way to, you know, hopefully entice people to, you know, check out the page and hear the music and, you know, support, you know, Jim Von Stein and what he's doing. You know, he's, you know, I don't know. I'm biased, but I think he's a great songwriter. You know. I'll share a couple more for you if you guys would like.
Yeah.
This next one's called Southern Nights. My father, the guy Tommy we were talking about earlier, they actually, when we first moved here in 1996 from Virginia, actually we moved from North Carolina, we were there briefly. We came here and they grew up, my parents met in Chattanooga. And Tommy was a childhood friend, and they actually made a professional track in a studio of this song. With a electric guitar player, a guy named Mike Mosier. The guy could play with his teeth. He was unbelievable. This isn't going to be quite that good, but I'll do my best for everybody. This is called Southern Nights. If I find I'm running dry, there won't be tears, 'cause I won't cry, 'cause I don't want nobody to hold me anymore. 20 on the neighbor and 5 to cover. Here on the house if you give me a lover. There's no cost 'cause there ain't been no cover. Just spend your time on the nights to love her. And I'm sure the beer will flow and angels will surely roam. And the boys can take our share back home. If I find I'm running shy, there won't be tears, 'cause I won't cry, 'cause I don't want nobody to hold me anymore. Know the round for the boys and me. Set them up and just let them be. They've been working hard digging land, and no one stops and tries to understand. But I'm sure the beer will flow and angels surely roam. And the boys can take our share back home. If I find I'm running shy, there won't be tears, 'cause I won't cry, 'cause I don't want nobody to hold me anymore. 'Cause I don't want nobody to hold me anymore.
That's Southern Nights by Jason Von Stein, who is here with us live. I think I finally figured out how to solve my speechlessness. It's just, I think you hear this with poetry and stuff, but the songs that you're playing, like, I get caught up in the lyrics because they create a lot of imagery. So I'm like thinking about things that have happened, or I'm picturing maybe like where these songs came from, and then by the time they're over, I'm like, I don't really need to say anything. Just go ahead and play the next one, because it's like, you know, I feel like I'm failing.
I feel like
No,
host,
you're doing great. Yeah,
you bring
no,
up a
thank
good
you.
point. Like it's a I mentioned it earlier about your dad sounding like a storyteller. Like every time I'm hearing these songs, I'm picturing stories in my head. It's like an image. Every time it's just like just like you said, it's just playing back in my head, and it's hard to project what you're actually seeing because it's a feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling that from every song that you played so far.
Oh, well, I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. This next one, so my idea, we got a couple ideas for music videos for this. My mother actually came up with a really good idea for this one. It's called Far Away Angel. And I want to make a music video. My idea was a Frankenstein lab. And you got Frankenstein, and he's trying to create his perfect, beautiful woman, right? And he's got this woman on a gurney, and he's manipulating electricity in order to bring her to life, right? And but what happens is he's got like a helper, and the guy that helped him with the electricity keeps screwing up, and he keeps shooting the musicians. So every time they're trying to bring this woman to life, they're instead bringing musicians to life, which would in turn go with the track of the song. That could go with like the chorus breaks and all that kind of different things. Again, on the Patreon, the Jason Von Stein Patreon, I've done a storyboard, which is it's like a comic book version of this, and what they do is you usually do that when you're going to create a movie or a short film. I felt that worked really well. I created that for Streets of Chicago, and people seemed to really enjoy looking at that, and it helped when we were piecing it together. So go to the Patreon and check it out if you want. Here's the live version of Far Away Angel. Angel.
Live with Jason Von Stein, I'm Caleb Lee, and I'm also accompanied by first-time co-host Jamie Davis. Jason, if you want to go ahead and keep going or
Yeah.
keep rolling with the next song.
Yeah, sure. My mother's idea for that music video was a woman who's an astronaut, and she's going up in space, and the guy's like looking up, you know, lonely because his faraway angel has gone away, which I think also could work for a cool music video idea for that. I kind of like to take a few of these songs and make multiple music videos, and you know, if you could do that, that would be kind of cool too. So, speaking of music videos, this next one I'm going to play for you is called Brown Jug, and I have some real good friends in Alabama that wanted to make a music video for Dad because, you know, they really liked this song, and they came together. Me and Dad drove to Alabama. Me, Dad, and Mom all drove to Alabama to be in a music video. If you get on YouTube and search Von Stein Brown Jug, you can find a music video for this one. Brown jug in my hand, help me chase her memory again. I know I can count on loving you. Make a walk with me tonight, if not my eyes, at least my mind. 'Cause I can love her without you. Brown jug, I lost my heart, never saw it come apart. I guess the brown jug always knew. It can make the silence clear, and drinking it won't bring you here. But it's as close as I can do. You tell me I'll be alright. This jug will hold me through the night. But when I wake up, I love you. The brown jug's only living proof my love for you is unwritten. This brown jug never goes away. Brown jug won't let me down, keep the tears from falling down. It's only there to ease the pain. Just afraid to hear my voice, not alone is by its choice. The only friend who's not insane. You tell me I'll be alright. This jug will hold me through the night. But when I wake up, I love you. The brown jug's only living proof my love for you is unwritten. This brown jug never goes away. You tell me I'll be alright. This jug will hold me through the night. But when I wake up, I miss you. The brown jug's only living proof my love for you is unwritten. This brown jug never goes away. This brown jug never goes away. This brown jug never goes away.
Jason Von Stein with Brown Jug. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but that song was preceded by Faraway Angel and Southern Nights.
Correct, yes. And yeah, before that, But I Love You and Hard Life. And the next one I'll play for you, this one's about me, actually. My dad wrote this about me when I was 5 years old. We got the Nintendo Entertainment System, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And we had Mario, and we just gotten it. I didn't know what I was doing, so I kept like, "Hey, Dad, I need help. I need help. I need help. I can't beat this. I can't beat this." And he was trying to write a song. And he was like, "Oh, I got a boy, and he's 5 years old, and he don't listen to what he's told." And then he stopped, and he was like, "Hey," and then he walked into the room, and 20 minutes later he came out and he played the song for me. And I didn't care about it because it wasn't Mario Brothers, but I care about it now. So it's called "A Little Bit of Me." I guess he got a little bit of me. There's the chance that he won't take fashion heads on his favorite thing. Stomping ants in the backyard fly, drinking water from a busted clock. I guess he got a little bit of me. The day at the playground door, somehow read a pair of shorts. Couldn't believe with my own eyes, the boy had hypnotized. I guess he got a little bit of me. At the ball is an awesome sight, turning heads from left to right. Got the class and the touch of style, who gave for a real long line. I guess he got a little bit of me. Got a boy and he's 5 years old. He listen to what he's told. He's as stubborn as a jackass mule. Thinks he's out with kids are cool. I guess he got a little bit of me. I guess he got a little bit of me. I guess he got a little bit of me.
That one immediately sounded familiar. Did you play that a couple of weeks ago?
I did, yeah. I've been trying to play that one out, a little bit more. So I think it's a cool story about that one. So, and if we get a Nintendo sponsorship, I'd be okay with that too. I'm totally, yeah.
That was another timeless one. That one's one I can definitely relate to.
Yeah.
Kinda made me feel like one of those older Johnny Cash songs.
Yeah.
Just that swinging.
It's
real
funny you say
dancing.
Johnny Cash. That was my grandfather's favorite artist. So
I can
Dad heard a
feel
lot
it.
of Johnny Cash,
I can
growing up.
definitely feel that coming through.
Yeah, he likes a lot. I like it too. I think that, I don't know, country music at that time was very authentic. Those people like those stories. Those people lived, and those people like,
Stories. Grit to it.
yeah, exactly. Actually, the next one I'll play for you is kind of. I feel like it's. I don't know. To me, this is his Patsy Cline kind of song. It's called "Miss You in the Morning," but it's got that old country. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, you like it. Just when I'm over you, someone speaks your name. Just when I think I'm through all the heartache and the pain, but now I realize you'll haunt me all my life. They say the biggest cuts come from the smallest lies. I shall miss you in the morning. How I miss your lovely smile. If I had my way, hope you're happy now. I'll drink in all the bars that we used to go. But tell me, darling, the things I want to know. Did I drive you on your way? Did you love me once at all? Should I blame myself this time when the tears begin to fall? I shall miss you in the morning. How I miss your lovely smile. If I had my way, you'd be right here, right now. But I hope you're happy now. I shall miss you in the morning. How I miss your lovely smile. If I had my way, you'd be right here, right now. But I hope you're happy now. Yes, I hope you're happy now.
Thank you, Jason. If you don't mind, I have a short-term memory loss tonight. If you want to tell me the name of that one again?
Oh, Miss You in the Morning is the name of that one.
All right, if you're just stopping by, I'm still here with Jason Von Stein. How many more songs would you like to play?
Oh, I'll play. I mean, I got a book. I got a bunch. So this next one I'll
Stay
play.
all night.
Oh yeah, I'll stay as long as you want. Yeah.
Full book.
Yeah, it is a full book.
Wow.
This doesn't even scratch the surface. This is just one book. He's got stacks and stacks of books. So
Y'all can't see it, but this is like a.
yeah, I think
looks
it's
like a textbook.
yeah, I
It's
think it's
amazing.
got I think it's 79 songs in this book right now.
Wow.
So yeah, if I'm not mistaken. This next one I'll play for you is I'm working on a music video right now for it. It's called Mr. Misery, and I got a friend that has motorcycles and GoPros and all sorts of cool stuff. And I got another really good friend of mine that's he's got his own home studio. So he's graciously put his time up. His name's Bannister, and he's given us time in his studio, and he's created a really good track. And I've been sharing bits and pieces of this track on the Patreon, and what I do is every time I do a new post, I add a new instrument. So probably sometime in the next few days, I'll do the next post with everything kind of coming together. So we have to wait for some good weather before we can actually start doing the filming part. But yeah, here's the live version. Hopefully you like it. It's called Mr. Misery. you let my poor baby spin all uphill? And climbing's not my thing, Mr. Misery. That's the title to my name, Mr. Misery. Don't bring your tears to me, Mr. Misery. Would you let my poor baby spin all uphill? And climbing's not my thing, Mr. Misery. That's the title to my name.
We are live with Jason Von Stein. That was Mr. Misery. If you guys don't mind holding on a second, we're going to take about a 3-minute break.
Sure.
And then we can come back and play as many more as you want. Once again, I'm Caleb, your humble host, and I'm joined tonight joined by Jason Von Stein and Jamie Davis. For the meantime, we'll listen to a little Lily and Madeline. I'm not sure who, haven't heard them yet, but this is Can't Help the Way I Feel, and I'll be back live with Jason Von Stein in about 3 minutes.
I'll get a drink real quick after we go.
This is fun.
Yeah, you're a natural. You could just take my spot. You can see what's on before relax.
That's too much commitment.
I get tense, like thinking about what I'm gonna say between songs, or like if I don't know, it's all in my head.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing great.
We all wipe our own butts. It's the great equalizer. So that's the way.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's what Dad always told me, and it's true. You know,
What's that?
I said we all wipe our own butts. It's the great equalizer. So yeah, yeah.
This is
I think
fun.
I've heard this before. Yeah. So do you host much?
Nah, I've never done this before. I think he told me he did it a couple weeks back.
Oh yeah.
Actually, finally had some time to come in and try it out.
You're good. How do you like it?
It's really fun. I
Yeah.
really like listening to people on the radio, and I like talking, and I like listening. So
Well, hey, there you go.
it's
Yeah.
like a good place to be.
You go to Chet State?
I went to UTC probably about, I guess that's 3 years ago now.
Oh yeah. It's cool.
Finished out, now I'm working with the city doing surveying.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you actually like going. Like you're the guys outside, like doing
Yeah.
the thing, right? Yeah.
You
That's
see
pretty
him, it's
cool.
probably me in a big old jacket.
Yeah. How do you like it?
It's pretty cool. We see all kind of stuff that I've never really seen around the city.
Oh, yeah?
Like under weird underpasses that they'll have us go surveying some stuff, and like for instance with all this rain, there's been like a lot of erosion going on. And they sent
Yeah,
us
I
out
bet,
there
yeah.
to monitor some of that stuff, and seen like huge cracks in the ground that's coming out of nowhere. It's kind of scary, but it's really cool to see.
Yeah. It's cool that you're getting that like knowledge too. You know, I mean, yeah, it's always going to be changing, so it's cool to be in on that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really fun.
So how do you know each other?
We went to high school together, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like.
That's cool. What high school?
Have you ever heard of, you know where Calhoun, Georgia is?
Calhoun, Georgia? Yeah, yeah, I know that. I used to do wrestling shows there.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
We went to a boarding school out there called Georgia Cumberland Academy.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's where we met, and I just came up here for school. He was up here for school. I think his family lives up here, and just kind of stayed in touch off and on.
Yeah, that's cool. That's all right. Yeah. You live up here?
Yeah, I live probably about, I would say about 10, 15 minutes away.
Oh, cool. That's not
My
bad.
family lives in Atlanta. That's actually where I'm from.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I moved down there in 2006 to
Nice.
pursue acting, and yeah, still pursuing it, I guess. So.
Yeah, I was looking at your IMDb page.
Signing your name here?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
You got a nice spread going on there.
Thanks. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on the weekends doing crazy stuff, so I've been lucky. You only hear once. This is the way I look at it. So you got to try some, things and see.
Yes, as many opportunities as you can.
Yeah.
I guess that's why I'm sitting right here right now.
No, yeah. I mean, you only hear once. Try it. It's cool. He used to do stand-up comedy in Chattanooga. That's hard to do, man. Doing stand-up. Yeah. Have you done it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know then. Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while, and it's not because it was getting more difficult. It was just there's this group of local comedians that will do stand up like every night, same places, and the last time I tried to do stand up at Barley, they usually have an open mic.
Oh, they do stand up there too? Really?
Well, it's a completely open mic night on Thursdays where you can do stand up, musicians, poetry readings. So I thought I would show up and just do a little bit of stand up, and a whole bunch of the comedians from the area, they taken over the open mic night so that they could have this little award ceremony for themselves. And you were there.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
weird.
Huh.
And I was like, I came out here like, I mean, this isn't going to really be entertaining or funny to me because I'm not really, I've seen you guys perform, but like they're giving each other like awards for like best crowd work and like,
Superlatives.
Weird. Wow.
they're all dressed up in suits and
Wow. So like
You guys are
official,
like
like
back,
fancy.
Dressed like this, like it was a Friday night.
Wow.
Just went to grab a
It's a heck
drink.
of a time to start your stand-up comedy career at their stand-up comedy award ceremony.
Everybody's got to rub each other's back at one point.
I luckily went up right before happenstance before who's the guy who always has a drink? Ron White?
Ron White.
Yeah. So that guy was in Atlanta. And I went up to do stand-up comedy. This is the first time I found out about when they flash a light at you. If you're not doing good on stage in stand-up comedy, they flash a light at you to tell you to get off stage, right? But I didn't know that. I didn't know this information. So I go up there and I'm supposed to have 5 minutes, and then they cut it and they tell me, you got 1 minute. And I have to like panic and come up with 5 minutes in 1 minute, right?
60 seconds.
Right, yeah. Because Ron White just walked in the door and he wants to go up stage and do stand-up. So like nobody cares about what I'm doing, right? So I go up there and I start doing stand-up. And then I see this like light coming from the audience. So then I'm like making jokes about the light. I'm like, look at the light. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. And it turned out that it's the woman that's like running the open mic. Man, she was screaming at me like crazy in the back. It was so weird.
So after
It was
60
so, she
seconds,
screamed at me
you
so
get
much that Ron White went up and did like 15 minutes. And he came to the back and he was like, I'm sorry, kid. I was like, man, that's great. Like, what?
From what I've heard, he's a pretty nice
No,
guy.
he was
especially
cool,
with the
yeah, but just because of the woman, she was
Yeah.
screaming at me because, he happened to come in, and of course they wanted him to go up immediately, so yeah, I think I was up there maybe like 10 seconds or something like that, but it was a long 10
Couldn't
seconds.
Give you the 60. Even though
Yeah, they didn't even give me that. I didn't get a minute. I didn't get anything. I got one joke in about a light from an audience that wasn't really a joke, and then I got yelled at for like, a long time, long enough to. Ron White was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." So,
I always forget what the light means. Like, I never did stand up at what it sounds like you did stand up at a pretty big name venue, but at like JJ's and wherever, like the people that run the stand up, they'll be like, okay, this is your time, and we'll flash the light at you when you're running out of time or when you have 1 minute left. And I always forget
yeah.
what that means, and I'll be like,
Yeah,
I've been thinking about that.
It's really, it's awkward. It's one of the most awkward things I've ever, But, that's what's, it's part of it, Every time that happens, it makes you a little better at everything else, I got booed off stage once playing a song called Mama, I Love You in Atlanta. But that made me, it makes you a little stronger, so hopefully. So I actually kind of want to go back to that place and play again and see if, if I can get, It was weird. I went in there and they have, so guitars, this is an acoustic guitar, right? But I've installed what's called a pickup, which means you can plug in directly. And the reason why I installed that is because of that show. I went to this show and I got booed off stage because before I had the pickup, you have to use 2 mics. You have to have one mic on your guitar and one mic on the vocal. And the way they had it set up, the audience couldn't hear it. So like the first 2 rows could hear it, and they were like into it. They were like, yeah, it's pretty okay. But everybody else is booing and like throwing trash at me and stuff like that, right?
Mob mentality.
So that, yeah, it was just like that, and it was even better because they had like a DJ host, right? So this DJ like comes up, they boo me off stage, and then I'm standing there on stage, and this DJ like grabs me and he's like, "Don't go anywhere." And then he starts like talking about the performance and everything like that. And as he's doing that, like everybody is like really like throwing trash at me and stuff. They're like really getting into like making fun of me and stuff like that, right? So like I just want to get off this stage. So I tell this guy like under my breath, I'm like, thank you very much, you know, I'll be back. So then this guy tells the audience like, he said he'll be back. So then everybody's like, oh, and they like start like getting into it even more, and they're like booing me as I'm like walking out. It
was like a personal attack.
was unbelievable, yeah. That whole night was unbelievable because I went there and I thought it was like an open mic night, right? And it was like open mic jam night, which is kind of a different thing. You have to like, so I went there and I waited like 3 hours, right, before I could play. And there's this dude that I'm sitting next to, and he's got a booger like hanging out of his nose the whole time. And I feel bad because I don't want to like tell this guy's got a booger coming out of his, you know. But he's like for 3 hours, this guy's got a booger coming out of his nose. And then he keeps telling me about how he used to be like this famous musician and all these different things, but he got into like a car wrecks and how his throat's like messed up and everything. Remember, I looked at like he broke his phone out, and his phone had so many cracks in it you couldn't even see the screen. I was just thinking like, why is a famous musician sitting here with a cracked phone and a booger in his nose for 3 hours talking to me? Like I'm not anybody to talk to.
Something's wrong.
You know, yeah. So it's kind of. That was a weird. Actually, I was kind of relieved when they booed me off stage because I was like, fine, I can go home. I'm just.
Where was it?
Happy to be. It's not, I can't remember. It's a club in Atlanta. It's been a couple of years since I've been there. I can't remember. It's downtown Atlanta. I can't remember. It's like a well-known kind of club, but I don't know. I'll do it again. I can't have my only show at one place get booed off stage, you know. So it's not wrestling. If it was wrestling, that would be a compliment. So it would be different. When I was a bad guy, anyway.
We can go back live after this song.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna get another swig of water real quick.
Okay.
Just realized this guy's hair says WAWL.
Yeah, I think a student came up with that design back
cool.
in the.
Yeah, I like what they
90s
do
or
there. It's
something.
pretty cool.
That looks nice. Yeah.
The station's been here since 1980.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty cool.
If you were to look through our library, like, we'd have maybe more than you would expect.
Wow.
If you were to request a song, Jamie, like, what artist would you?
Right now, let's see. I've got Childish Gambino on my mind. I feel like the last time I called in, you played that though.
We have Redbone, Have Some Love, This Is America. And
Yeah,
Something
Redbone.
Magic.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well, that's a good band.
most artists that you want to hear is like to the program director. He listens to music all day, and he has a really good variety of music. Like we have songs that date back to like the 50s, but he keeps new stuff coming in.
Cool.
He doesn't get rid of things, so you can.
It's good.
His archives and backs it up all?
Yeah, they have it. I guess it's on a couple of different hard drives, but I think the website says they have like 30,000 songs or.
30,000? Wow. That's,
Servers back there.
so we got That's the Way of the World by Earth, Wind & Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah. If you've never heard that song is like unbelievable. That's one of my favorites.
How does that one sound? I'm trying to remember.
That's the way of the world.
They only have Let's Groove by.
I know I can't think of the words, but it's a real pretty melody. It's great. It's one of their best songs. It was actually the name of the album. So, but That's the Way of the World. Yeah, Earth, Wind & Fire.
The music of it.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're unbelievable. I wish you could see them. That would be one. Him and Stevie Wonder. I'd like to see Stevie Wonder.
He's
too.
still
That'd be cool.
around too.
I know,
Still
yeah.
have a chance to see him.
Yeah.
This is the only Earth, Wind, and Fire song that we have.
So Let's Groove.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and play it because I forgot that I was going to go back on after this song, so go live after this one.
Right. Cool. We get a request.
Usually here at dance parties.
Yeah.
That wasn't a Christian band.
Oh. Well, something about the name Dragon Force.
Hell yeah, I like that band.
People got like these elemental.
Yeah, they got one of the hardest. They got like a song on one of those rock band games. It's like really like crazy.
That's when I first heard of them.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard of them too. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So I find it easier to play a real guitar than it is to play the rock band guitar. I've never been able to figure that thing out.
Something about the rhythm I could never get down.
Yeah, I could never figure it out. I even got Rocksmith. I figured I'd try that, and I couldn't. But that chord's cool because it's got like a USB on one end and a guitar cable on the other.
I never tried that one. That was Rocksmith.
Yeah, it's cool. It's Rocksmith. That one's it's probably a little more professional than the other one, I guess. So it goes with you. Like if it feels that it's too hard, then it like makes the difficulty easier and whatnot.
So you can actually hear the song and not just all.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And they got like a solo part where you can just like noodle around and mess with solo. Do you play instruments?
Not anymore. I used to play guitar, but that was back in high school.
Bring it back.
Yeah, like you said.
It's only 7 basic chords.
Your dad started playing when he was 30.
Yeah, anybody can,
Not even 30 yet. So
I mean, and you got plenty. As long as you're alive, you got time. Do it now because you never know. You might not the fingers and everything.
Yeah.
You hear about like Eric Clapton. A lot of those guys can't play anymore.
Really?
Yeah, Eric Clapton and I just watched the thing on Peter Frampton. Like he's on his last his tour because his fingers are he's losing it. So.
I never even thought about that. Like people who've been playing for years like that, just getting older and they stop playing because their hands start.
Well, I think it's like Parkinson's diseases, things like that prevent. I mean, like emphysema with my father. I mean, unfortunately, the older we get, the more susceptible we are to, injury and sickness and things like that. So while you're young now, do it. Only you're gonna pick up the guitar, but it's well worth it.
You're not lying about that.
Yes, I mean it's well worth it. It really if you're having a bad day, you play like 1 or 2 songs. It really will change your demeanor. It'll change your mood. It changes everything. So.
I just need to bring it from my mom's house. It's down there. Just
just snag it. Yeah. If it's just collecting dust, then do something with it. Yeah, better to play it than It's cool. I mean, music is that. It's little stories. It's little. Not everybody's got 2 hours for a movie, but everybody's got 3 minutes for a song. So.
And you can pack so much into that 3 minutes.
Yeah, you really can.
A full movie for the most
part. You can. I was jamming to the way here, and it's cool. Like on my radio, it tells you the time of songs, and I mean, in 3 minutes, Super Freak. That's a 3-minute and 20-second song. That's crazy. It's only 3 minutes 20, but it's 3 minutes. And it's like catchy.
It seems a lot longer than
it does seem a lot longer. Yeah, it's 3 minutes and 20 seconds. It's really 3:18. The last 2 are just silent. It's like, but yeah, it's like 3 minutes. You can, That may not be a story you want to take home to mother, but
my mom likes
whatever. It's a good song. But September. Yep. They're serious about that.
Yeah, I'm glad you said
Break the
something.
rules.
I think it's more for students, but I guess it's really everyone.
I'm gonna forget. Is there a chance that you guys have stickers for Chattanooga State?
Yeah, I wish
If you do, I would love one for my guitar case.
Don were here because we could use stickers and a T-shirt and everything, but I think they keep them in that closet. There might be some underneath.
All right,
where the
breaking and
clipboard is.
entering for stickers. Never done that before.
I'm not confident enough to be like start talking while the song is fading out.
You just gotta be like, yeah, let's groove tonight, everybody.
You got it.
Just stretch out that.
Yeah, we're grooving, totally grooving tonight. That's Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I don't think they really need any introduction. I'm Caleb Lee, your humble host and your future best friend, and I'm rejoined with Jason Von Stein and my co-host Jamie Davis. Jason, I wanted to touch base with you on whether or not some of these songs have been recorded, or if they're downloadable or purchasable.
The only ones that have been like professionally recorded are like Streets of Chicago. We made a video for that, and Mr. Misery. We're going to be making a video of that, so there will be a professional recording for that. My dad's got a few CDs that he made with various artists in the 90s and 2000s, but they're not really online. I'm going to change that with the Patreon. I've been posting a lot of just information about our family and stuff like that, and these are family stories, so I'd like to put those up. My dad made a CD with an old friend of his named Mark Smith, but things didn't really work out. We actually moved in with him in North Carolina, and things got really crazy. His wife, she was I don't know, she was a little obsessive, I guess. My parents found recording devices and stuff like that in their bedroom, and she actually poisoned me when I was a kid. My parents, their plan was we were going to move to North Carolina, and Mark and my father were going to play music at night, and they were going to set up trailers during the day. But to do that, Mark would, of course, had to quit his job, and my parents had to quit their job, which they did, and they did do that. They started doing that for a while, but it got to the point where Mark's wife was, scary. She was a scary person. I saw her throw a cat against the wall once and break the cat's neck and do a bunch of crazy stuff like that.
Not somebody you want to be around.
Yeah, so we had to move kind of in the middle of the night. That's actually how we ended up coming back to Tennessee. So that didn't work out. But then my dad made a track, Southern Nights, with a friend of his. But it was just like one track. There was a friend of my father's named Dennis Reynolds, and he actually played Riverbend with my father in 2004. My dad was able to play. It was one of his 3 shows was Riverbend, of all places. So he was so nervous. He was like, because it's huge. He actually opened for a guy named Leroy Parnell, who had like a #1 hit in country music. So it was a cool night. It was neat that he got to play 16 songs at Riverbend, and I'm hoping to be able to play that exact set at Riverbend one of these years, if they're looking for artists. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to be playing Come to Pair soon.
No. My father, he played in 2004. I would like to play the same set at some point, so if you're
any plans?
listening to Riverbend.
You got anything going for it?
I submitted. I don't think I got picked this year. I think Riverbend's, sounds like they're cutting down on a few days this year, so, but, be cool to play there at some point. I don't know, that's just a dream of mine.
I'll be looking out for it.
Yeah, any place to play is really a dream, but yeah, so it's how we ended up in Tennessee, and we've been playing music since. This next one I'll play for you is called "Can't Live Without You." This is actually the first song I played out at an open mic, the first one I ever played whatsoever, because it's 2 chords, so it's a little easier, but also that's kind of deceptive. It can be a little more difficult, but and it's called "Can't Live Without You."
Jason Von Stein. That was Can't Live Without You. Jason, I think we have time for 2 or 3 more. Or
Sure.
I don't know if 3 would be.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
well,
if
you
you-
just cut me off whenever. Yeah,
If you want to do
I'll
2
go all
more,
night.
Sure.
All right, yeah. This next one I'll play for you. I have an idea for a music video that's just big semi trucks, just road footage. That's it. So kind of that perspective. It's called "The Place Where I Belong." I've seen 1,000 roads, carried 1,000,000 loads. This truck has been real good to me. It took a lot of time to get you off my mind, 'cause every mile I set you free. The windshield looks the same, no matter sun or rain. It always shows your face to me. But I just drive on by, don't have the time to cry. This deadline's closing in on me. This road to nowhere, the road I'm on, lost inside your memory like the lyrics in the song. The night is cold and lonely, I drive along, knowing I can leave behind the place where I belong. I've seen an LA sky, I've watched the ships pass by, down in the Delta in the spring. I see you everywhere, north, south, you're always there. On any road, it's all the same. This road to nowhere, the road you're on, lost inside your memory like the lyrics in the song. The night is cold and lonely, I drive along, knowing I can leave behind the place where I belong. This road to nowhere, the road I'm on, lost inside your memory like the lyrics in the song. The night is cold and lonely, I ride along, knowing I can leave behind the place where I belong.
You're listening to a live performance by Jason Von Stein on Chattanooga's very own The Wall. Jason, which songs do you have in mind?
Yeah, I'll play a couple more for you. I'll play. My dad wanted me to play a song called "Honky Tonk Highway." It's one of his favorites, and then I'll finish it with "Streets of Chicago." Since I've been telling you about it, you might as well hear that one.
I won't interrupt you in between these two, so you can just.
Oh, okay, cool.
There's no need for me to punctuate the magic that's going on.
Okay, cool.
So, Jason Von Stein's going to play 2 more songs for us. Can we get those titles one more time?
Yeah, it's called. This will be "Honky Tonk Highway," and I'll follow that up with "Streets of Chicago."
Okay, thanks again for being here.
Yeah,
It's,
thank you for having me. Yeah, this is I went to the school, so it's nice to thank you for this dream come true. I really
Bring you
appreciate
back.
it. Yeah,
Bring
it's
you back
cool.
to
It's
Chat
nice to
State.
be back. Yeah. It's a honky-tonk night. The neon is calling. I'll be crying all night when I start falling. I'll be searching for you while the jukebox is playing. Another memory of you that I'll be replaying. Waitress, bring me a drink. I don't really care what, as long as I think the hurt doesn't hurt much. There's been nothing but rain. I've not seen the sun much, so please ease my pain with a smile and a soft touch. Honky-tonk highway, I'm riding you home. I've got a lot of miles that I'll be alone. The neon is flashing, the memories of you, and I'll drink them up like I always do. Another pool game or two, and then I start fighting, as white as the cube. My memories are writing. We play every night where the neon is bright. Now I'm lonely tonight, and nothing feels right. Honky-tonk highway, I'm riding you home. I've got a lot of miles that I'll be alone. The neon is flashing, the memories of you, and I'll drink them up like I always do. Honky-tonk highway, I'm riding you home. I've got a lot of miles that I'll be alone. The neon is flashing, the memories of you, and I'll drink them up like I always do. Yes, I'll drink them up like I always do. All right, and this last one, if you check out Jason Von Stein on YouTube and Von Stein Streets of Chicago, you'll be able to entertain yourself with 4 cool minutes. Here's the live version. In the streets of Chicago, As I lit up my last cigarette, came the thought of tomorrow. Run the streets like a lonely soul, gotta jump on tomorrow. All my friends, they are shadows, little seeds that split the night. We're alone in the shadows, all my dreams are an endless light. Every city's got the darkness in its eyes. Late at night you can hear the lonely people cry. And as I watch the darkness settle in, I know I'll see a new day once again.
Live with Jason Von Stein, I'm Caleb Lee. Jason, would you mind letting us know the names of those last two songs that you played?
It was Honky Tonk Highway, followed up by Streets of Chicago.
Once again, thanks for stopping by. I hope you didn't have to come to Chattanooga just for this.
No. Well, my parents are here, so
Oh, yeah.
it's more than
Blame
It's not
that.
a problem at all. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie, for filling in with some moral support.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the opportunity.
Yeah,
and
thank you. Thank you,
for
Jamie.
playing,
Thank Caleb,
Jason.
both
It's
of you.
been a wonderful experience.
All right, so I'm Caleb Lee. This is Friday Night Music, and I'll be back with you next Friday at 9:30. Thanks for listening, and have a glorious night.
Love you, Jim Von Stein.
What's up, Chattanooga? This is Jay Hall. You're right here in WAWL.
Love you, Dad.
Chattanooga. That's right, though. Woo!